Right now, while you're watching this, something is happening inside your body that you cannot see, cannot feel, and probably don't even know about. It's not your skin. It's not the fat you can pinch on your arms or your thighs. It's the fat sitting deep inside your belly, wrapped tightly around your liver, your heart, and your pancreas. And here's the part that should worry you. Doctors say this fat doesn't just sit there quietly. It's active. It's releasing chemicals into your bloodstream every single hour of every single day. So the real question is, how long has this been happening to you, without you even knowing? By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this hidden fat forms, the biggest mistakes almost everyone makes trying to get rid of it, and the simple daily habits that can start reversing the damage sometimes in just a few weeks. Stay with me, because step 5 might surprise you. Here's what most people don't realize. You can step on a scale, see a number that looks perfectly fine, and still be in danger. Doctors actually have a name for this. It's called being normal weight obese. Your BMI looks okay. Your clothes still fit. But underneath, this deep fat, the kind wrapped around your organs, is already at work. Picture your liver. It's supposed to be smooth, deep red, quietly filtering everything you eat and drink. Now picture it slowly turning pale and swollen, packed with tiny droplets of fat it was never designed to hold. That's what's happening inside millions of people right now, and most of them feel completely fine. Meanwhile, this same fat is quietly pressing against your pancreas, interfering with how your body handles sugar, and pumping out chemicals that irritate the lining of your blood vessels, hour after hour, day after day. No pain, no warning signs, just slow, silent damage building up in the background, until one day a blood test, a scan, or a health scare reveals what's really been going on. So what exactly is this fat doing to cause all of this? Let's break it down. To understand why belly fat is so much more dangerous than fat anywhere else, picture your abdomen like a busy highway system. Right behind your belly button, there's a major blood vessel called the portal vein. Think of it as an expressway that carries blood directly from your gut straight to your liver. Visceral fat happens to sit right next to this expressway. When you have too much of it, that fat doesn't just sit there like a cushion. It behaves almost like its own organ. It constantly releases fatty acids and inflammatory chemicals called cytokines, and because of where it's located, a large portion of those chemicals gets dumped straight onto the expressway, heading directly into your liver. Your liver, which is supposed to filter and process nutrients, suddenly gets flooded. Over time, fat starts building up inside the liver itself, the early stage of what's now called fatty liver disease. But it doesn't stop there. Those same inflammatory chemicals travel through your bloodstream and reach your pancreas, making it harder for your body to use insulin properly. That's one of the biggest reasons visceral fat is so closely linked to rising blood sugar and type 2 diabetes. And there's more. This fat can also trigger the release of a substance that tightens your blood vessels, which is one reason so many people with excess belly fat also develop high blood pressure, even when the rest of their body looks lean. So in short, this isn't just fat sitting quietly under your skin. It's active, chemical-producing tissue, with a direct highway into your most important organs. And that's exactly why the location matters so much more than the amount. Now here's where things get frustrating. Most people are actually trying to fix this problem, but they're doing it in ways that don't really work. Let's clear up the biggest mistakes. Mistake number 1. I look thin, so I'm fine. We already covered this. You can look slim on the outside and still be carrying dangerous levels of visceral fat on the inside. Thin does not automatically mean healthy. Mistake number 2. Endless sit-ups and crunches. So many people believe that if they do enough ab exercises, the belly fat will melt away from that exact spot. Unfortunately, your body doesn't work that way. You cannot spot reduce fat. Crunches will strengthen your abdominal muscles, but they won't touch the fat wrapped around your organs. Mistake number 3. Extreme, short-term diets. Crash diets might shrink the number on the scale quickly, but they often burn through muscle and water weight first, leaving visceral fat largely untouched. Worse, the weight often comes right back, sometimes bringing even more visceral fat with it. Mistake number 4. Ignoring sleep and stress. Many people focus only on food and exercise, while completely overlooking two of the biggest visceral fat triggers: poor sleep and chronic stress. Elevated stress hormones like cortisol directly encourage your body to store fat around your organs. And mistake number 5. Waiting for symptoms before taking action. Because this fat causes no pain and no obvious signs early on, a lot of people simply wait and wait until a doctor delivers unwelcome news. The good news? Every single one of these mistakes is fixable. And that brings us to the part of this video that actually matters most. Here's something that should genuinely relieve you. Visceral fat is considered one of the most responsive types of fat in the entire body. Unlike some health conditions that take years to shift, this particular fat often starts responding to the right changes within just a few weeks. You don't need extreme measures. You don't need to starve yourself or spend hours in the gym every day. What you need are a handful of consistent, science-backed habits done regularly. Your liver, your pancreas, and your heart all have a remarkable ability to repair themselves once you stop feeding the problem and start supporting your body properly. So let's walk through exactly how to do that. Step 1. Take a short walk after your meals, even just 10 to 15 minutes. Here's why this works. When you eat, your blood sugar rises. If you sit or lie down right after, that sugar tends to get stored as fat, and a good portion of it heads straight for your visceral fat stores. But when you move your muscles shortly after eating, they pull glucose out of your bloodstream directly, without needing much insulin at all. The practical tip. You don't need a formal workout. A gentle walk around your house, your yard, or your neighborhood is enough. The common mistake people make is skipping this because it feels too easy to matter. But this is genuinely one of the simplest, most powerful habits for lowering visceral fat over time. Step 2. Build your meals around protein and fiber instead of refined carbohydrates. Protein keeps you full longer and helps preserve the muscle that keeps your metabolism strong, while fiber slows down how quickly sugar enters your bloodstream, meaning less of it gets shuttled into visceral fat storage. A practical tip. Try to have a source of protein: eggs, fish, chicken, beans, or yogurt at every meal, along with vegetables. The common mistake here is focusing only on cutting calories while ignoring what those calories are actually made of. 2 meals with the same calorie count can have very different effects on your visceral fat, depending on whether they're built around protein and fiber or sugar and refined starch. Step 3. Cut back on liquid sugar that includes soda, sweetened coffee drinks, and yes, alcohol. Sugary drinks are absorbed incredibly fast, spiking your blood sugar and insulin, which directly promotes fat storage around your organs. Alcohol is processed by the liver first, and remember, that's the exact organ already under strain from visceral fat. Regular drinking adds fuel to a fire that's already burning. The practical tip? Swap sugary drinks for water, sparkling water, or unsweetened tea, and try setting a couple of alcohol-free days each week. The common mistake is thinking just one drink or just one soda doesn't matter. It's the daily accumulation that quietly does the damage. Step 4. Add strength training 2 to 3 times a week. Muscle tissue burns more energy at rest than fat does, which means the more muscle you build, the more your body naturally works against visceral fat even while you sleep. Strength training also improves how sensitive your cells are to insulin, directly addressing one of the core mechanisms we talked about earlier. A practical tip. You don't need a gym membership. Bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, or a light set of dumbbells at home are enough to start. The common mistake is assuming cardio alone is sufficient. Cardio burns calories in the moment, but strength training changes your body's chemistry for the long term. Step 5. Protect 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. This one surprises people. Poor sleep disrupts the hormones that control hunger and fat storage, particularly cortisol, your body's main stress hormone. Elevated cortisol from chronic sleep deprivation directly encourages your body to store more fat specifically around your abdomen. The practical tip. Keep a consistent bedtime, dim the lights an hour before bed, and keep your phone out of reach. The common mistake? Treating sleep as optional, or something to sacrifice for a busy schedule, when really, it's one of the most powerful tools you have for controlling this hidden fat. And step 6. Actively manage your stress, not just your diet. Chronic stress keeps cortisol elevated around the clock, and as we've already covered, that hormone is directly tied to visceral fat storage. This is why some people can eat carefully and still struggle to lose belly fat, because the stress itself is working against them. A practical tip, even 5 minutes a day of slow, deep breathing or a short walk outside can measurably lower cortisol over time. The common mistake is ignoring this step completely, focusing only on food and exercise, while stress quietly undoes the progress. If all of this feels like a lot, here are 3 things you can start today, right now, before you even finish watching this video. First, stand up after this video and take a short walk, even if it's just around your living room. Second, swap your next sugary drink for a glass of water. Third, tonight, Set a firm bedtime and actually stick to it. None of these requires special equipment, money, or a complicated plan. They're small, but they directly target the exact mechanisms we talked about: blood sugar spikes, cortisol, and insulin sensitivity. Most people wait for a big, dramatic overhaul before they start, but the truth is, your body responds to consistency far more than intensity. 3 small actions, repeated daily, will do more for your visceral fat than one extreme effort you can't sustain. Let's bring this all together. Visceral fat isn't just extra weight, it's active tissue sitting right next to your liver, your pancreas, and your major blood vessels, quietly releasing chemicals that disrupt how your body handles sugar, fat, and blood pressure. It builds silently, often without any symptoms, which is exactly why so many people don't notice it until a health problem forces them to. But here's the takeaway that matters most. This type of fat responds faster than almost any other. A short walk after meals, protein and fiber on your plate, better sleep, managed stress, strength training a few times a week. These aren't extreme changes. They're small, consistent habits that directly target the biological mechanisms causing the damage. Your organs have a remarkable ability to heal. All they need is for you to stop feeding the problem, starting today.